to a quick review of the contents of my survival kit. I in fact have this survival kit as an EDC, everyday carry, alongside my Swiss Army knife, which is in my pocket at all time, and then this is in my bag actually. So I just want to make a quick review of all the things packed in that, so just so that you can have an idea, because I know there are loads of other videos on this stuff like kits, but I watched like loads of these videos, and this has helped me to build my kit. And I've had some addition of my own, you know, so what I think is great to be included in the survival kit. So I would like to share that with you, and hopefully this will help you. First of all, you'll notice that there are two bands around the kit. So these bands, I put it for firstly to retain the container to be closed. It doesn't actually need it, it's already really closed by itself, it's not going anywhere. But this on my kit hold the box closed, and you can use it to light a fire, because as you know, rubber tubing is one of the best fire starters out there. Even if it gets wet, you just put just light it with a lighter or matches, and it will burn really hot and for a long time, and you'll get a chance to light your fire. I have a plastic container just because I don't have a tin one or an aluminium one, but I'm working on it to get an aluminium one, so then you'll be able to cook your food in the aluminium. So ideally you have a tin box, but I don't have one, so I'm sticking with a plastic one for the moment. So you know, it doesn't make a big difference. So first thing on top you'll notice is that I have bandages, so if ever you need one. So it was the first thing you open your kit for. You know, you get a cut, you're going through a trail, you get a cut, a nasty cut or stuff, so bandages. Alright, so I have 4 of them, and you'll notice later that I have more bandages for, you know, bigger cuts. This is a small one, easy, fast, but effective. Yep. So next you'll find I have a big, I say big, it's such a small one. I have a Swiss Army knife in that. So this one has a scaler gone, it fell off, but ideally you would have to go for a Victorinox former. I highly recommend that. It's one of the best Swiss Army knife out there. So really good stuff. And you know, the former has the addition of the saw, which is perfect for its intended use in a survival situation. So I have this Swiss Army knife, the former, on me at all time, but ideally I would have another one in the kit, but since I've only got one for the moment, so I'm replacing it with this other Swiss Army knife. So alright, so I won't go through the content of the Swiss Army knife. There are loads of other videos on YouTube concerning that, so you can just have a look. But as I say, I highly recommend the Swiss Army knife Victorinox former. Next thing, you'll have a lighter, a big lighter. That's a big mini. In the survival kit, the small kit, this I think is just perfect for that. And I have it in red just because it's more of an attractive color if ever get lost in the woods, so I can find it easier. So I don't have matches you will find in my kit, but my only way to light a fire is a big, because personally I think if ever this is not working because either it's wet or anything, chances are that your matches as well won't work. So personally I'll go for a big lighter every time. So, and I couple the big lighter with 3 magic candles. So these are the ones that have gunpowder in the wick as well, so even if there's a gust and it blows the candle off, it will light again all by itself. So I can use just a big to light the candle, and the candle will hold the fire for me for however long I need to light my fire. So these two together are really nice and very useful. Okay, there are what I've done in the small spaces that has left in the kit, I've just stuffed cotton balls everywhere in it, you know. So you'll find there's loads of small pieces of cotton ball. So in fact, it just to prevent all the contents from rattling in the kit, but also you can use a tinder to light a fire. Okay, in this container you will find that I have like potassium permanganate. This is mainly to purify water. You can use 2 to 3 crystals for each liter of water. So just gives it a little pinkish color, and it will kill all the germs and everything nasty in the water. If you have sugar with it in crystal form, yeah, you can just mix 50-50%, grind it on a rock, and it would spark and it will light. You can have a fire, so that's another way to have a fire. And if you have a nasty wound and you need to kill all the germs, or you know, clean up the wound, you can have a higher concentration dose in some water, and you'll have, you know, potassium permanganate, and it'll just clean up your wound. So if I had sugar with me, so I'll have another way to make fire. So it's that is 2 ways to make fire. Okay, and you can purify water with that. So good. Another way to make fire is this fire steel, or ferrocium rod, as it's usually called. So that's a big thick one that I have for kits, because a small one, you know, if you go and use it a lot, it gets thinner and it can just snap off, just breaking off. So and you'll also find that I don't have the handle, the big thick handle that they put on the ferrocium rod, because it's just bulky for nothing. You can just, it's already quite strong material, so you can just hold it from one end and strike it. And then when this spot is getting thinner, you just turn it over and, you know, go from there. And I also include this small blade in my kit. It's actually quite thin and small, and I really like it for the purpose that, you know, I don't need to carry this little scraper with me. I can just use a small knife to do that, because usually I don't like to blunt my main blade to use on ferrocium rod, so I'll just use this small blade, which will do the job just perfectly. So this way I won't dull my main blade, and this small thing I'll use it to light fire, to clean up small game or fish when I don't want to dirty my main blade. So that's a small knife, just perfect for that. So these two go together. So that's actually the third way to light a fire. You know, because fire of course will of course purify my water and everything, you know. So next, I have this small LED light. So I think the battery is quite off, it's going dull, yeah, so I need to replace that. But anyway, that's a Light Express Eco Line, very small. It has 2 like penny sized battery in that. It's the small ones, it's got 2. So when it's brand new, it's really a good light, and it will last you a long time. So, and if you go for the good nickel battery, it will be just the best small LED light you can have, right? So that's that. Then you'll find that I have a plier. That's a small plier that I bought from eBay actually. So I include that to my kit, so that you know, sometimes you need a plier to do stuff, to hold stuff, to mend things. Just your bare fingers won't do it, so you need something more strong. So a plier is something very useful. Some people have some multi tools that have plier included, but I think they will be too bulky to have it. I find that you can have a Swiss Army knife, and these two together completes the main tool kit. Yeah, so highly recommended this one. There's other models that you can choose. So this one has like small flat Phillips, small blade, a flat screwdriver, That's a nail file and a nail cleaner, but you know, the main purpose for this is the pliers itself. Really good one. Then this is electrical tape that I'll remove the middle bit, the thick paper cardboard thing, and just press it together so that it becomes so thin like that. So loads of usable electrical tape to mend stuff and you know all other uses. Right. This small thing here is actually a knife sharpener. These two bits is, I think, really tough metal, some alloy or stuff, and you can just, you know, go ahead and sharpen your knife with that. It's quite. I'll remove it from the big plastic casing, so I only have this small piece, but that will do the job quite well. Because a blunt knife is, you know, is dangerous. So this is very important to navigate. So I only have this small thing, and I really like it. It just gives a really nice edge, and it's very small, you know. Next, in this spool, I have some thread. Many uses for that, so good. You'll notice that I don't have a button compass. It's just because mine broke a few days ago, so I replaced it with. I found this. This is a very thick and very strong magnet. You see, that's a very strong magnet. You can just hang it with a piece of thread, and it will just indicate the north, or make it float on some water, and it would indicate north. So that's that. Next, in this spool, you know, just remove these two O-rings. You have a fishing line in that. Fishing line, a spool of fishing line. I think it's like £5, 5 or 10 pound. I don't remember, but that's a spool of fishing line. You know, for my fishing kit. This is my little fishing kit. You got, you know, some hooks and some sinkers. It's not sinkers. It's spinners. Spinners. You can use as sinkers as well. So this is a fishing kit, as well as this piece goes through. That's part of the fishing kit. You know, just have it. It's a really thick wire. You know, I just thought to include it together. So that's my fishing kit. Okay, so these two are the handles for my wire saw. So wire saw, self-explanatory. You can use it for bigger logs that, you know, the saw on your Swiss Army knife won't be able to handle. So you go for these two. So I just pop on these two on there and use it. Okay. Then I have 3 needles. These are like big eye needles. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? Okay, here. So that's big eye, wide eyes one. So, you know, when you're out in the woods, you won't have like thin threads like these to use. It'll be much thicker one, so you can use that to mend stuff. It's quite rusty, but I got 3 size. So that's the smallest one I have, and then these two, like loads of stuff you can do with that. So, you know. Then you'll find this is a thicker piece of bandage. So I have it like underneath the kit, and it just goes through over some of the contents in there that I want to protect from the sharp edges of all the other tools. So underneath that, you'll find that I have is 3 surgical blades. Because, you know, sometimes if you have to mend some, you know, if you have a wound and you need to go and remove something from the wound, or you need to cut something, you know, even how sharp your Swiss Army knife blade may be, it's never going to be as sharp as a surgical blade. So I just thought to include 3 of them, and you can use it to put it through a piece of wood and have, you know, a nice handle to use that. So, you know, I thought to include that. 3 surgical blades, really nice. Then this little stuff here, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, is actually a surgical needle and the nylon wire that's got with it. So that's 20 liters of water that I can purify with that. And if ever these runs out, so I'll have my potassium permanganate to purify water as well. So then at last I have the big bandage I was talking about. So, you know, if I have a big cut, so I can just cut it in small pieces and use it, or, you know, that's a big one. And lastly, the kit itself, you know, it would rather be made out of a tin can, so I could cook in it, but at the moment I don't have one, so I have one plastic. So, well, there you go, I think. So these are all my kit, all the stuff in it. So again, actually I've based myself more on the SAS Survival book from John Lofty, if I'm not wrong. So I've based myself roughly on that, and I've added something that on my own. And you know, the main concept behind it is to be able to survive in any situation. So, but the main priorities, of course, are fire. I didn't include anything for shelter because I personally think that with the wire saw, the knife, you know, with a bit of improvisation, you can have yourself a shelter, and you have clothing of you, like, obviously. And with a fire, you can split big woods, and you can make yourself a shelter without much problem. So these are mainly considered priorities. Well, that's my kit in itself. So I hope that this will help you to make up your kit if ever. And some comments and suggestions will be welcome. And I hope you enjoyed the video. This is my first video actually, so I hope you liked it. Anyway, just leave it in comment below if you like some more videos, because I have a big funny pack. This is funny survival pack, so maybe hopefully in the video we can cover that. For the moment it's just my survival kit. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.